We believe that XRP is going to dethrone Ethereum hands down. All right. We've come to that conclusion a long time ago. I'm here with my buddy Max. He only brings the alpha. That's why I do these collabs with him. I got to do collabs with people who bring the alpha all the time, right? Right there. Okay. That guy, that cute guy right there, that handsome guy, bring the alpha. And we're going to talk about that today. We're going to discuss, how XRP is going to dethrone Ethereum. It should be it should come natural, I think, to people who know XRP. That should be a no-brainer. So what do you got for us, Max?
Well, it's some of the documents. You guys know the drill. We get into some things which from Smoke, Tokenizer. Sometimes it's from ourselves. We do bring our own particular research, but nice thing about Smoke, he makes it easy. And this will be a real brief video, but I think you guys will appreciate it. So consider smashing that like if you haven't done so already. And also, if anything, check out the links that are in the description, whether it's for BTCC. You can get yourself $10 free in USDT. Swap that to whatever you want. And if you want to get off the exchange, go with a decent wallet. In fact, I'm going to play a little brief ad real quick, and then we'll jump right back.
If managing your crypto feels like solving a puzzle, it's time to switch to Decent Wallet. It's just a few taps. You can manage, track, and secure your crypto with unmatched ease. And here's the best part. Grab your Decent Wallet at a discounted price by using the referral link below. Don't miss out on making your crypto experience smoother and more secure.
Welcome back. So with that said, let's get into what we have. And again, Smoke, he was put on blast by Crypto Basic, which is really cool. So let's go ahead and share this. And they cite his research because at this point, who wouldn't if they know what's good for them, right? So Crypto Basic says researcher Smoke Dog explains XRP will dethrone Ethereum as top altcoin for 2025. That's major, right? Well, in the citation you see here, for example, it's the key findings. And in the findings, it's basically this. Automated market maker on the XRPL. I won't get so much into that specifically, but it says this, I should say specifically, this innovation suggests a potential reshaping of the financial landscape. Despite their utility, most automated market makers operate on the Ethereum blockchain and face, of course, challenges such as high transaction fees, significant slippage, impermanent loss, risk, and synchronization. I remember last bull market, Jesse, I mean, my goodness, I was trying to, like a lot of people, we bought some meme tokens and whatnot. But, geez, I think the highest gas fee, adjusting the slippage, was like $350 just to buy something that wouldn't even later be worth $350 for the gas fees. It was ridiculous. But
Ridiculous, yeah.
it was totally ridiculous. So, again, even just on that, most people know where we're going with this. We get to this next part. Smoke points out the whole thing that the XRPL, like it says, surpasses traditional Ethereum based AMMs, notably those following a constant product market maker, which is called CPMM model regarding speed, scalability, and of course efficiency. On the bottom part, talks about our results show that the XRPL AMM reduces slippage and impermanent losses, improves price synchronization speed, and enhances overall operational efficiency. All right, well, it's cool to reference that. And this other thing I want to point out is, again, from Crypto Basic this time, because they point out on May 30th, it's the call for XRP to take the crown from Ethereum as the leading altcoin continues to gain traction. A growing faction within the crypto community believes that Ethereum's dominance in the altcoin market is nearing its end. And XRP is poised to take its place. Prominent XRP community researcher, of course, Smoke, pointed that out. One of the factors fueling the speculation is XRP's stronger performance, especially compared to Ethereum's recent underperformance, relative, of course, to BTC. For context, ETH is down over 30% against BTC this year, which it is. Meanwhile, XRP has only dropped 6% against the crypto firstborn. Jeez, what a way to title it, but it's true. Within the same period. I think that's a major big deal moving forward. because at the end of the day, you kind of have an idea of how it all, as in what, how it all comes together. And the last citation, April 2025. Ethereum looks long-term bearish. Is this doom and gloom? Well, cited from April 14, 2025, and in the citation, we see on the visual this key thing. And that is basically was cited from this particular research called fairleadstrategies.com, Katie Stockton, and also Will Tamplin. And in the visual, we see here, again, what's bearish? Because what is bearish is what's mentioned. You see a complete bearish outlook, not just short term, but apparently for the immediate term and the long term for Ethereum. Think about how many layer 2s have been birthed out of the whole notion that, excuse me, I meant to share that tab. The whole notion that we need a solution that is going to do a proper roll up, hence your layer 2s. So again, interesting to see this, and interesting to see that even from some of the top research firms and so on, they both agree that in the immediate and long term, it looks very bearish for Ethereum. But that also said, I'm going to get Jesse's closing thoughts, because I think I have an idea where he's going to come from on that, and that is what is faster, cheaper, and more innovative will win in the end. Your thoughts, Jesse?
Yes, sir. Hey guys, hope all is well. Thanks for tuning in. Ethereum's got a lot of competition, man. Like it's not a joke. Like there's like Avalanche, and you've got like there's so many different blockchains right now that are competing with Ethereum. And I'm not saying it's not a big one, but yeah, I saw that post today, and I was like, oh, that's very interesting. So XRP, the automated market makers on the XRPL, is literally the most groundbreaking AAM automated market makers, AMM, most groundbreaking ever. When David Schwartz announced it and he talked about it, he was so excited on stage. I'm telling you, it's like he was like a kid in a candy shop, like unreal. He said, guys, he said, I'm so excited, can't even explain to you. I want to rent like 100 hours straight, but I'm going to try to stop myself. And he's like, I'm not even kidding, guys. I'm not kidding. Like, this is like, he was so excited. He couldn't even hold himself. Like, he's like, he was going to pee his pants. I swear. He was so excited. And because if I remember correctly, is usually with automated market makers, I hope I explained this correctly, usually you have a negative. I think the volatility causes like it's a negative, but with this, the way that David Schwartz set it up, it turns this volatility into positive thing. So if you're staking your tokens and you're providing liquidity, okay, this volatility that's usually supposed to be a negative is actually a positive, and it captures that volatility and it rewards you with an LP token. I think it's called the LP token, liquidity provider token. And you can swap that LP token for XRP. You can swap it for whatever. It's redeemable for XRP. And yeah, it's a groundbreaking AMM. Nobody's like, this is crazy because the XRP ledger has a built-in exchange. Plus, it's built on the Interledger protocol. I mean, what they've done here, unfortunately, I'm not a super tech guy. I cannot explain that, but I had to watch many videos on that. It's insane. Like this is the real deal. Like this is the biggest breakthrough in providing liquidity ever with these automated market makers. And we're seeing the central bankers talking about the AMM. Isn't that interesting? Right? The fact that all these CBDCs are being built on private chains of the XRP ledger. And we're also seeing the central banks talking about automated market makers. They're rarely saying XRP or XPL because, you know, they've been trying to hide that from us as much as they can. But it's a very big deal. And I think, yeah, I mean, Ethereum can't. No, it's going to be taken over, and I think there's other blockchains eventually. Not only XRP, there's other blockchains that are going to take over Ethereum. Might take a few years for the other ones, but I think XRP just right now. I don't think we're seeing the true value. Personally, I think the price is being suppressed. I mean, I think it should be worth way, way, way more than what it is. Temporarily suppressed, okay? Don't go and sell your XRP because I said I thought the price is being suppressed or controlled, okay? Or held back. Like, do not sell your XRP because I said that, okay? It's none of any nothing I say is financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. Don't buy or sell anything because of anything I said, okay? But appreciate you listening, guys. So that's my thoughts, Max. That's my thoughts for that.
I really have a lot to add to that. You know, I do recognize the significance of layer twos. They do have significance. They do have weight. There's ones that do obviously stand out because they provide a solution. Sometimes people say, well, that's just a speculative solution. We do see pumps on certain ones that provide those particular solutions. Um, you know, that's worth pointing out. And it's not just, of course, towards Ethereum. You know, we've seen some other ones with some other projects that done well as well. Like, for example, I pointed out Stacks. I used to be into the Stacks token. And of course, that provided a scalable solution for BTC. But I'm just looking at it from the perspective, since we're talking about Ethereum, XRP dethroning that, there's more than enough evidence to support that. So with that said, this was just a little brief video. I do believe in my whole heart that XRP will dethrone Ethereum, and I think very well, I'm going to stick to my guns on this one. I think it's going to happen this year. Could be wrong, but I'm kind of leaning towards that. Why, Jesse? Well, two major things, and that is mandates, especially ISO 222, and of course regulations. I think this definitely is the year for regulations. That in itself, those two positive catalysts would definitely turbocharge the market, especially once tied to utility, and XRP stands at the forefront of just that, utility. So with that said, guys, you listen to the entire outline, do us a solid and type in this keyword into the comments if you listen to, again, the whole outline, and that is dethrone, and we'll know that you listen to the entire outline. On behalf of myself and Jesse over at Apex Crypto Consulting NFA, know what you have, know why you hold it. The research trumps flood 110%. We'll see you on the next one.
See you guys.